Melanie Zanetti, and last year in 2010 I was an emerging artist in the Faculty of Acting.
I'm Melanie Wild, and last year I was Queensland Theatre Company's Emerging Director.
And I'm Paula Nazarski, and I'm this year's Emerging Artist, being mentored in workshop facilitation.
Last year the two main stage performances I did were Little Dog Laughed and Grim Tales. And probably with Little Dog Laughed, a couple of the best things that came out of that were wonderful accent training with General American, and also there were other actors who were from out of state, so getting to know people from Sydney and Melbourne and making those connections and still having those friendships and connections, I found was fantastic. And Grim Tales was such a beautiful experience.
Well, I got to assistant direct 3 different productions, two with Michael Gow and one with Morgan Dowsett, who's another sort of emerging director that's a little bit more advanced than where I am. And I got to work with people like Jackie Weaver and John Wood, so that was really exciting.
That would have been cool.
But I guess the highlight for me was taking Toy Symphony to Adelaide as an assistant director, but without the director being there, because I sort of got to re-rehearse the actors by myself.
This year I get to learn how to become a workshop facilitator. Doing acting classes within the Education Queensland curriculum. So basically I'll be looking at exploring ways of using storytelling and acting as a way to facilitate improvements in literacy, and also to give them social awareness, as well as getting them thinking, especially the high school students, about life outside of high school.
I got to help with a lot of the administration side and writing program notes and helping with workshops, and that was just really interesting.
One of the biggest eye-openers for me was meeting so many people within the industry that actually aren't performers.
What I found really fantastic was sort of being able to become part of the furniture for the year, feeling really comfortable to be able to go and talk to Michael Gow or talk to Wesley now in this situation, and feel very free to ask questions, to offer opinions, to really be part of the hub in here. And there's a sort of there's a confidence that grows from that.
Everyone really likes coming to work.
Later in the year will be Pygmalion. I'm playing Eliza in that, which is beautiful gift of a role, and that was through working with Michael and him developing a language with someone and having their style complementary to yours.
I guess my big project for this year is working with a young emerging writer to create a new play that we're going to be producing at Metro Arts later this year. And the reason we got into that program was because I'd worked with Michael while he developed new plays by David Williamson. I was able to watch that process, and now I'm actually doing that myself.
After this particular run as an emerging artist, I hope to not only do more acting work, but also to run workshops and facilitate workshops, and not just within schools, but I do have a desire later on down the track to actually go into the women's prisons and detention centres and working with, youth at risk.
Well, I think it's the whole thing about the program was that we didn't just get to practice as artists, but learn the business side behind being an artist.
I think sometimes too, as an artist, you tend to forget that there is a business that's attached to it all, and to understand how that actually works is, I'm starting to get a really good sense of it, which is blowing my mind, really.
Last year I went out to the Brisbane Airport Corporation, who are a big sponsor for us, and particularly the Emerging Artists Program, and they were wonderful and really welcoming and really interested in, I went out with a colleague, Jason, who was Emerging Artist for Lighting, and really interested in the program. It was really the collaboration with the people within the shows and the writers within the workshops that made it so special, and what made me feel really helped develop me as creative performer.
You know, I get to use that other side of my brain in this particular instance where, one, I'm being creative, and two, I'm also learning. Just to be offered, asked to be an emerging artist is, well, it's the gravy, really.